It's your boy Jay Kabata back here with another video. So today I'm going to be telling you guys why credit's important and how to build it. Now I know a lot of you guys know credit is important, but I don't think a lot of you guys know exactly how credit is broken down. Alright, let's get into it. One of the first things that I want to start off with and why credit is important is that it can help you get a job. So my job actually looked at my credit score to make sure that I'm a responsible person. Usually people who tend to pay their credit on time or their bills on time are more responsible than people who forget to pay their bills, which will affect their credit. Now I'm not saying every single job will look for your credit, but there have been some cases where if you want a good opportunity and that job is looking at your credit and you have a bad credit score, that could definitely affect your employment. The next thing that I want to get into is pretty much something that everyone knows. It's getting approved for a house or a car loan. Getting one of these loans approved is something that everyone in their life is going to have to experience at some point. I mean, unless if you don't want to drive or if you're not looking for a house. But even if you're looking to rent an apartment, having good credit is definitely something that you're going to need. The last thing that I want to get into is pretty much the most important thing, in my opinion, with having good credit. That's going to be being able to get better interest rates. So when you're able to get a better interest rate, that's just basically that you're saving money. When someone has a good credit score and someone has a bad credit score, the person with a good credit score is just basically going to end up paying less for their product than someone with a bad credit score. So I can't stress enough that honestly, if you have good credit score, you're actually saving money. I want to show you guys an example. So I just went on Google and I searched up car loan calculator. We're just going to use a car loan calculator that Google gives us. Our loan amount's going to be $20,000 and our person with good credit is going to get a 3% interest rate for a 60-month loan period. So that person's going to pay $359 a month and they're going to pay $21,562 total for the entire car. Now we're going to use someone who has bad credit. They're going to get the same car, $20,000. They're going to get a 6.5% interest rate and they're going to have the same amount of time, 60 months. Now they're going to pay $391 a month and they're going to pay $23,479 for the total of the car. So that person with good interest is going to pay $32 less a month and $1,917 less for the total of the car. Now that's crazy. If two people got the exact same car, but one had good credit and one had bad credit, that the other person's going to be paying around $1,900 more just for having bad credit. That is why it's important to make sure that you have good credit and that you actually try to build your credit over time so that you can start to get things cheaper. It's literally almost like getting a discount on an item, whereas like if you just have bad credit, you're just going to be paying more than someone else. Now I want to get into how to build your credit. So the first thing I'm going to start doing, and I'm going to give tips on the way, is I'm going to show you guys exactly the percentage at what your credit is rated and what exactly they look at. So the first thing we're going to get into is payment history. So payment history is 35% of your overall credit score. And basically it sounds just like it is. You just got to make on-time payments. If you start to miss your payments, you're going to be affected negatively. The tip that I have for this and what I do is that every time I swipe my card, I pay for it. So every time I'm using my credit card, it's because I already have that money and I'm just trying to build my credit. So for example, if I go put gas and the bill is $30, well then I'm going to send $30 automatically from my checkings to my credit card just so I don't forget it and so I don't miss my payment. The next way that your credit is rated is by credit usage or credit utilization. That category takes up 30% of your overall credit score. So basically what this category looks at is it's making sure that you're not using all of your available credit. The best way to keep this part of your credit score high is to use less than 10% of your max credit. So if your max credit is $10,000, let's say you have a $10,000 credit card, and if you use less than $1,000, then you're going to be in good standing. Credit card companies start to get worried when you use more than 10% because they're not sure if you don't have money to pay for it or if you're just trying to buy a lot of things and you're not going to have the money for that. The tip that I have for this is that I only use my credit card for gas and food items. If you keep it to something small and you're able to pay off all that stuff by the end of the month, then your credit utilization is never going to be that high. Another thing that can also help with this is having multiple credit cards so then that your credit utilization is higher. So for example, if you only had one credit card that was $10,000, but now you open up another one and now your credit utilization is $20,000. Well, now that 10% has moved from $1,000 to $2,000. So now you're able to safely use up to $2,000 without it affecting your credit score. The next one I'm going to get into is your credit age, and that takes up 15% of your credit score. So basically, to give an example for this, if you had one credit card for 10 years and you had one credit card for 20 years, well, your average credit age is now 15 years. One of the tips that I have for the younger people is that if you're younger, I would try to open up good credit cards as young as possible. The reason for this is because if you start to open up credit cards at a young age, by the time you're 25, you're going to have a bigger credit history than someone who began opening credit cards at 23. Just remember that the best thing to have is a longer credit age. So the longer your average is, if it's 10 years, that person's going to have a better credit score than someone who's only had it for 5 years in this category. The next one I want to get into is inquiries, and that takes up 10% of your overall credit score. So the rule of thumb is if you have 2 less inquiries in a year, then you're going to be fine, whether that's a credit card, a car, or a home loan. Honestly, this one's going to set itself up over time because you are going to get a house, you are going to get a car. As long as you're not opening up a lot of loans within 1 year, then this part of your credit score is going to be fine. The last one that I want to get into is an account mix, and that takes up 10% of your overall credit. I use Credit Sesame to check my credit score. So basically for account mix, it just looks at your credit card loans, your auto loans, and your home loans. So basically if you just mix those up over time, your credit score in this category is going to be a lot higher. And the tip I have for this one is just overall life. Like you're eventually going to get a car loan and a home loan, and you're going to open up multiple credit cards. So that's basically just going to make the percentage in this category high over time. The last thing I'm going to talk about before I wrap up this video is I just want to show you guys the credit cards that I use. So my favorite one, I use a Citi double cash back card. And what that is that it gives you 2% on everything. Doesn't matter if you're going on a trip, to the gas station, or to the store. It's going to give you 2%. Now I know there are some better cards that work better for other things, such as the Amazon card. It works better if you're buying things from Amazon and it'll give you a higher percentage. But with this card, it'll give you back 2% on literally everything. The last one that I use, and I used it for the sign up bonus, is the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. What that card is that it gives you 1.5% on everything, but the sign up bonus is the best part. So if you spend $500 in 3 months, it gives you back $200. The other good thing about this is that it has 0% APR for 15 months. So if you needed to make a big purchase on something, you're not going to have to pay interest on that item for 15 months. Credit is very important, and if you have good credit, it actually helps you save over someone who has bad credit. I just can't stress that enough, that literally just for having that good credit, you are going to be saving money. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys learned something, and I just want to emphasize how important having good credit is. You're literally just going to save money just from having good credit over someone who doesn't have credit on certain products such as a car or a house. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Also, be sure to message me on Instagram or Twitter at JKabata. I'm still replying to everyone, and I honestly do enjoy just talking to you guys about stocks and other investment strategies. Last thing is I'm going to leave my Robinhood link down below. Make sure you click that and sign up for Robinhood. You get 1 free stock, and that might just be the beginning to you starting to invest. Until next time, guys. Peace.